Let me ask you this, have you ever found yourself drained by someone's negativity? You're ready to take on the day, but their toxic words or actions pull you down. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Welcome to Motivation for Success, the place where we empower you to break free from negativity and embrace your true potential. Today, inspired by the wisdom of Denzel Washington, we're uncovering 5 clever ways to handle toxic people. These tips will help you reclaim your energy, protect your peace, and live life on your terms. Stay with us because these strategies aren't just life-changing, they're empowering. Your light is too precious to let anyone dim it. Let's dive in. Toxic people can creep into your life without you even realizing it. They can appear in the form of friends, colleagues, or even family members, and their presence can quietly erode your peace, confidence, and happiness. But here's the thing, you can't tackle a problem you don't recognize. That's why the first step in handling toxic people is understanding who they are and how they impact your life. Let me ask you this, are there people in your life who constantly find fault in everything you do? Do they belittle your achievements, making you feel like no matter how hard you try, it's never good enough? Maybe you have a coworker who seems to thrive on stirring up drama or a so-called friend whose helpful advice always leaves you feeling worse about yourself. These are classic signs of toxicity, and recognizing them is the foundation of reclaiming your peace. But toxicity isn't always as obvious as a loud, brash critic. Sometimes it hides behind subtle actions that are easy to dismiss. Think about the family member who uses guilt to manipulate you into doing what they want. Or the friend who serves up backhanded compliments like, "Wow, I'm surprised you managed to pull that off." These behaviors might seem minor in the moment, but over time, they add up, leaving you emotionally drained and second-guessing yourself. The question is, how do you know if someone in your life is toxic? Start by paying attention to how you feel after interacting with them. Do you walk away feeling uplifted and supported, or do you feel exhausted, frustrated, or hurt? Your emotions are your compass, and they can guide you toward understanding the people who bring light into your life and those who cast shadows over it. Now, let's talk about why recognizing toxicity is so important. It's not about blaming others or labeling them as bad. It's about protecting your mental and emotional well-being. Awareness is the first step toward freedom because it empowers you to take action. Once you see the patterns, you can't unsee them. You gain clarity about who and what deserves your energy and attention. For example, consider the coworker who always seems to pull you into their web of negativity. At first, you might think they're just venting, but after every interaction, you notice your motivation dwindling and your stress levels rising. That's not a coincidence. Toxic people have a way of transferring their negativity onto others, leaving you to carry the emotional weight they refuse to deal with themselves. Or think about the friend who constantly undermines your confidence. They might phrase their criticism as just being honest or helping you improve, but their words chip away at your self-esteem. Recognizing this behavior is crucial because it helps you understand that their actions are more about their insecurities than your shortcomings. It's also worth noting that toxic people often thrive on chaos. They stir up drama not because it's necessary but because it distracts them from their own inner struggles. They might create conflicts out of thin air or blow small issues out of proportion, leaving you to deal with the fallout. Recognizing this pattern allows you to step back and see the situation for what it is, a tactic to keep you off balance. Here's a hard truth, some of the toxic people in your life might be those you care about deeply. It's not easy to admit that a close friend, family member, or loved one is causing harm. But protecting yourself doesn't mean you love them any less. It means you value your peace and well-being enough to set boundaries. Recognizing toxicity is also an act of self-respect. It's saying, I deserve to be surrounded by people who support my growth and happiness, not those who tear me down. It's about reclaiming your power and refusing to let someone else dictate how you feel about yourself. Now, here's where it gets even more powerful. Once you identify toxic behaviors, you can start making choices that align with your values and goals. You can decide to spend less time with that overly critical friend or address the behavior directly with a family member. You can choose to protect your energy and prioritize relationships that uplift and inspire you. Remember, recognizing toxicity isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of self-awareness and growth. As you evolve, you might notice new patterns or behaviors that no longer serve you. That's okay, it's a sign that you're becoming more attuned to what you need to thrive. So, take a moment to reflect on the people in your life. Who makes you feel valued, supported, and empowered? And who leaves you feeling drained, frustrated, or small? Be honest with yourself because the truth will set you free. Awareness is your greatest tool in this journey. It's the light that shines through the darkness, illuminating the path to a life filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. Once you recognize toxicity, you're no longer a victim of it, you're in control. It's time to take that first step. Protect your energy, honor your worth, and remember, you deserve a life surrounded by positivity and love. So, what's holding you back? Start recognizing the toxic patterns today, and take back your power. Boundaries are not just rules, they are your lifeline when dealing with toxic people. Think of them as a powerful shield, guarding your peace, energy, and emotional well-being. Without boundaries, toxic individuals will have free rein to test you, push you to your limits, and leave you feeling completely drained. But when you set firm boundaries, you regain control over your life and create space for positivity to flourish. Let's break it down. Boundaries are about deciding what you will and will not tolerate. This requires clarity and courage. Start by identifying the behaviors that disrupt your peace. Is it the friend who constantly unloads their negativity on you without ever asking how you're doing? Is it the coworker who interrupts your work with endless complaints? Or perhaps it's a family member who uses guilt as a tool to get their way. Whatever the case, the first step is recognizing these patterns and acknowledging their impact on your well-being. Once you've identified the toxic behaviors, it's time to take action. Decide what's acceptable to you and what isn't. Be clear and specific. For example, if someone habitually derails your conversations with negativity, set a boundary by saying, "I value our time together, but I'd like us to focus on solutions rather than complaints." This isn't about shutting them out, it's about steering the interaction towards something more constructive and uplifting. Here's the challenge: toxic people will push back. They thrive on testing boundaries, and they may try to guilt you into returning to the status quo. That's why standing firm is essential. Think of it this way: your energy is a limited resource, and every time you allow someone to cross your boundaries, you're giving away a piece of that resource. Protecting your peace means refusing to let anyone drain you, no matter how persistent they may be. And let's address the elephant in the room, the guilt that often comes with setting boundaries. Society has a way of making us feel selfish for prioritizing our needs, but here's the truth: self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. You cannot pour into others if your own cup is empty. Protecting your energy and peace isn't just an act of self-love, it's a way to ensure that you have the capacity to show up fully for the people and responsibilities that truly matter. Let me give you an analogy. Imagine your peace and energy as a bank account. Every time you allow a toxic person to violate your boundaries, it's like making a withdrawal from that account. Over time, the account runs dry, leaving you emotionally bankrupt. Setting boundaries, on the other hand, is like building a savings plan for your energy. You're safeguarding your most valuable asset, your well-being, so that you can continue to thrive and grow. It's also important to remember that boundaries are not about keeping people out, they're about keeping your peace in. They are a way to define the kind of interactions and relationships you want to cultivate. Boundaries are a form of respect, not just for yourself but for the other person as well. They create a framework for healthy communication and mutual understanding. Here's another crucial point: setting boundaries doesn't mean you're being unkind. In fact, it's one of the kindest things you can do for both yourself and the other person. By setting clear expectations, you're giving them a roadmap for how to interact with you in a way that fosters respect and harmony. And if they choose not to honor those boundaries, it's a reflection of their own issues, not your worth. Defending your energy is an ongoing practice. Toxic people may test your resolve repeatedly, but each time you stand firm, you reinforce the message that your peace is non-negotiable. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, and you'll find it easier to protect your emotional space without hesitation. So, how do you start? Begin with small, manageable boundaries. Practice saying no without over-explaining or apologizing. For instance, if a friend asks for your time when you're already overwhelmed, a simple, "I can't commit to that right now," is enough. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Finally, celebrate your victories, no matter how small they may seem. Each boundary you set is a step toward reclaiming your energy and building a life rooted in peace and positivity. And remember, protecting your peace isn't just about what you say no to, it's about what you're saying yes to, your happiness, growth, and well-being. In the end, boundaries are a profound act of self-respect. They signal to the world that you know your worth and won't compromise it for anyone or anything. So, stand tall, defend your energy like the treasure it is, and watch how your life transforms when you prioritize your peace. You've got this. Sometimes, the kindest and most compassionate choice you can make, for yourself and others, is to take a step back. Creating distance isn't about giving up or abandoning someone, it's about prioritizing your well-being and creating the space necessary to heal, grow, and focus on what truly matters in your life. Picture this scenario: you're on a boat with a toxic person. They're rocking the boat constantly, creating chaos and instability. You're doing everything you can to steady it, but no matter how hard you try, the waves of their negativity keep pulling you down. If you stay in that boat, you'll both sink. The best and wisest move? Step off onto solid ground. Let them navigate their storm on their own while you regain your footing. Choosing distance doesn't mean you've stopped caring. It doesn't mean you're turning your back on them or wishing them ill. In fact, it can be one of the most loving things you do. By stepping back, you allow both yourself and the other person the space to reflect, recalibrate, and take responsibility for your own emotions and actions. Sometimes, that space is exactly what they need to begin their own healing journey. But let's be honest, choosing distance can feel uncomfortable, even guilt-inducing. Society often teaches us that being there for others, no matter the cost, is a virtue. Yet, sacrificing your mental health, peace, and emotional stability for someone else's dysfunction isn't virtuous, it's self-destructive. You can love and care for someone deeply, but that doesn't mean you have to allow their chaos to derail your life. Think of distance as a boundary made visible. It's not about shutting someone out, it's about drawing a clear line that protects your emotional well-being. It says, "I care about you, but I care about myself too." You're not abandoning them, you're choosing yourself. And that choice is essential for your growth and peace. Here's the key: distance isn't forever. It's a reset, not a retreat. It's an opportunity to focus on your priorities, realign with your values, and rebuild your energy. When the time is right, if the person demonstrates growth or a willingness to meet you in a healthier place, you can choose to reconnect. But until then, maintaining that space ensures you're not caught in the turbulence of their unresolved issues. Distance also doesn't mean you stop hoping for their well-being. You can still wish them peace, send positive thoughts their way, or even pray for them if that's part of your belief system. You can care without sacrificing yourself. Love from a distance is still love, it's just love that respects your limits. Remember, choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. Your peace, mental health, and happiness are invaluable. When you protect those aspects of your life, you're not only doing right by yourself but also by the people who depend on you. You can't pour from an empty cup, and you certainly can't be a source of stability for others if you're constantly drained by someone else's chaos. Taking a step back doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. It shows strength and self-respect. It's a reminder that your well-being is worth fighting for and that you have the power to protect your peace without apology. So, if you're struggling with guilt or doubt about creating distance, remind yourself of this truth: you're not abandoning them, you're choosing yourself. And in doing so, you're paving the way for a healthier, more balanced life. Your peace is too precious to compromise. Stand firm, step back when necessary, and trust that choosing yourself is always the right choice. Toxic people thrive on drama. It's their fuel, their stage, and their favorite tool for control. They provoke, manipulate, and stir chaos with one goal: to draw you in. The more they can get you to react, the more they feel validated and in control. But here's the secret to handling their theatrics: you don't have to play their game. When they try to bait you with accusations, sarcasm, or passive-aggressive comments, resist the urge to jump in. They may push all the right buttons, trying to ignite your frustration or anger, but reacting only feeds the cycle. Instead, take a breath and choose to rise above it. Calmness is your greatest weapon in the face of chaos. Imagine their words as a storm: thunderclaps of criticism, lightning bolts of manipulation, and a downpour of negativity. You have two choices: get swept away in the turbulence or stand firm and let it pass. Visualize yourself as an unshakable lighthouse, steady and grounded while the storm rages around you. The storm may howl, but it cannot move you. Disengagement doesn't mean ignoring the problem or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about reclaiming your power and setting clear boundaries. When you choose not to engage, you're sending a powerful message: I hear you, but I'm not letting you disrupt my peace. It's a statement of self-respect and emotional strength, one that toxic people find impossible to handle. Silence, in particular, is a superpower. It's not a retreat, it's a calculated response, or rather, the absence of one. Silence is disarming. It denies toxic people the reaction they crave, leaving their drama to fizzle out on its own. It shows them that their attempts to provoke you have no impact. They lose their power the moment you stop giving them attention. Here's the thing: disengaging doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. It takes far more strength to hold your ground and stay calm than it does to lash out or get drawn into a shouting match. It's a sign of emotional maturity and self-control. Toxic people want you to lose your cool because it shifts the focus away from their behavior and onto yours. When you refuse to engage, you deny them that opportunity. Think of disengagement as flipping the script. Toxic people expect you to react. They expect you to argue, defend, or retaliate. But when you stay calm and composed, you're breaking the pattern. You're rewriting the narrative. Instead of being a co-star in their drama, you become the director of your own story. Remember, refusing to engage doesn't mean you don't care or that you're indifferent to the situation. It means you care enough about your peace and energy to protect them. You can acknowledge their behavior without letting it control your emotions. It's about prioritizing what truly matters: your mental well-being, your goals, and the people who uplift you. The next time a toxic person tries to provoke you, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself of this truth: their words are a reflection of them, not you. Let their storm rage on, but stay grounded in your calm. Imagine their drama as a fire and your silence as water that extinguishes it. The more you refuse to engage, the quicker the flames die out. Disengagement is not avoidance, it's strategy. It's a conscious decision to focus your energy where it belongs. Instead of fighting battles that drain you, you're choosing to invest in your growth, happiness, and peace. It's a reminder to yourself and others that you're in control of your emotions, not them. So, let their drama fizzle out while you stay focused on what truly matters. You're not their puppet, and you're not playing their game. You're stronger, wiser, and in control. And that, my friend, is how you win without ever stepping into the ring. You've heard it before: you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. But have you ever stopped to truly reflect on what that means for your life? Your circle doesn't just influence your mindset, it shapes your decisions, your habits, and ultimately, your destiny. So, who's in your circle? Are they lifting you higher, or are they quietly pulling you down? Life is far too short to be spent with people who drain your energy, sap your motivation, or dim your light. Toxic individuals can act like emotional anchors, keeping you tethered to negativity. They bring nothing but criticism, drama, and discouragement, leaving you questioning your worth and purpose. But here's the truth, you have the power to choose who gets a seat at your table. Instead of holding space for those who deplete you, fill your circle with people who inspire, support, and challenge you to be your best self. Positive people are like oxygen, they help you breathe easier, think clearer, and live better. They're the ones who celebrate your wins without jealousy, encourage you through setbacks, and remind you of your potential when you're on the verge of forgetting. But what if you can't completely avoid toxic individuals? Maybe they're co-workers, family members, or people you can't fully cut ties with. The key is to balance their presence by prioritizing time with uplifting individuals. Positive people have a way of overpowering negativity, like sunlight breaking through heavy clouds. Their energy is contagious, their optimism is infectious, and their belief in you can serve as a counterweight to the toxicity around you. Picture this, your life is a garden. The people in your circle are the seeds you plant. Some will grow into vibrant, nourishing trees that offer shade, fruit, and beauty. Others might sprout weeds that choke your growth, stealing the nutrients and space meant for you to thrive. The question is, what kind of garden do you want to cultivate? Who deserves to stay, and who needs to go? Surrounding yourself with uplifting people isn't just about feeling good in the moment, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. When you spend time with those who push you to dream bigger, take risks, and grow beyond your comfort zone, you start to mirror their qualities. Their belief in your potential becomes your belief. Their drive for excellence fuels your ambition. And their light helps you see the path forward, even in your darkest moments. Here's the beauty of a positive circle, it's not one-sided. Just as they uplift you, you have the opportunity to uplift them. Become the kind of person who builds others up, who celebrates their successes and stands by them in tough times. Positivity is a cycle, the more you give, the more you receive. Now, take a moment to evaluate your current circle. Ask yourself these questions. Do these people support my goals and dreams, or do they belittle them? Do I leave conversations feeling energized or drained? Are they helping me grow, or are they holding me back? If the answers reveal a need for change, don't be afraid to make adjustments. Prioritize quality over quantity. A smaller circle of truly supportive people is infinitely more valuable than a larger group of naysayers. Your time and energy are precious, don't waste them on relationships that don't nurture your growth. When you align yourself with positive influences, you'll find that your life begins to shift. Doubts fade, confidence grows, and opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. It's not magic, it's the result of surrounding yourself with the right energy. So, choose your circle wisely, because it shapes your future. Let go of what drags you down and embrace the people who lift you higher. With the right people by your side, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Your destiny is in your hands, and it starts with the company you keep. Toxic people might appear in your life, but they do not have the power to define your story, you do. You are the author of your own journey, and every step you take is a chance to rise above negativity and shine even brighter. Recognizing the influence of toxic people is the first step toward reclaiming your power. By setting firm boundaries, limiting their impact, and focusing on your own growth, you can protect your peace and create the life you deserve. Remember, your energy is valuable, and so is your mental and emotional well-being. Surround yourself with positive people who inspire and uplift you, because their light will amplify yours. Life is too short to be weighed down by negativity or the drama of others. Choose to rise, choose to thrive, and choose to focus on the opportunities and relationships that help you become the best version of yourself. At Motivation for Success, we believe in your power to overcome challenges and embrace your greatness. If this message inspired you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need encouragement, and subscribe to our channel for more empowering content. Together, we can create a ripple effect of positivity and growth. Never forget, your light is unstoppable. The challenges you face are not roadblocks, they are stepping stones. Keep shining, keep growing, and keep proving that nothing can dim the brilliance of your spirit. Thank you for being a part of our community, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay strong, stay inspired, and take charge of your story today.